Robert Collins, author of Greater Thoughts, is also a motivational speaker and a mind coach, helping you to untrap your mind. In order to elevate your team, your organization, or your business, visit Robert Collins on theuntrappedmind.com or follow him on Instagram at Greater7Thoughts. That's greater, the number 7 thoughts. Robert Collins says, all success starts with a thought. Now turn that thought into action and go be great.
Good morning. Good morning. It is your host, Mr. RC. You have just tuned in to the Greater Thoughts Morning Show on this December 26th. Today, I'm in the building with a beautiful woman. Met her about 12, 13, 14 years ago, something like that. I have my wife in the building. Hey, baby.
Hey, babe.
Yes. How does it feel to be in the studio?
It feels great. This is new. I'm excited.
Yes. So we're at the end of the year. It's December 26th. Merry Christmas and happy belated Christmas to the world. Yesterday was that day to, recognize and celebrate the life of the risen King, the word Jesus, as we like to call him affectionately. And, there's many other names that he is. I like the one when they call him a wonderful counselor.
King of Kings.
See, there she goes. Go ahead. Well, give me some more, Angie.
Lord of Lords.
Yes, go ahead.
Savior.
Yes.
All the things.
All the things. The great I am. The Holy Spirit. The Trinity. Speaking of Trinities, I will tell you the one thing that I really believe that helps keep us together as a Trinity is the fact that we put myself, you, and God, the three-corded strand. The braid, as my wife loves, she loves to say, the braid. And anyone that was a part of the Bible study that I used to lead several years back will know that my wife loves to say the braid.
A three-strand cord is not easily broken.
That's it. So today, what I want to do is just sit back and just vibe out with my beautiful wife. We're going to talk about who knows what. She is a holiday fanatic, guys.
Absolutely.
Let me tell you, she is a holiday fanatic. And when this time of the year comes around, as you guys have heard me say 3 weeks in a row, this is supposed to be the most beautiful time of the year. My wife just smiles the entire time of the year. Like as soon as let me get it right. As soon as Halloween is over, she goes into decoration mode. And speaking of decoration mode, let me go there for a minute. Angie.
Yes.
For 2025,
mm-hmm.
what is your decoration? Yes, I'm putting you on the spot. What is your decoration goals? Because I'm not talking about my house that you decorate.
Yeah, I go into overdrive with the holiday because I believe that your house should be festive and reflect the season. But as far as 2025, my goals overall is launching operation and then also expansion with my business. So my business that I'm launching is Angie Collins Creative Group, where of course I'm focusing on, this home staging and decor. And the focus is going to be on decorating for unoccupied units in real estate properties, from model homes to vacant properties, and then also being able to expand into entertainment with backstage spaces for green rooms in different venues across the city to start.
And is this going to be anything like the previous business you did, Phoebe Style?
Yes, it is. But, sometimes you have to take steps, and you might not get it right the first time. But with me, my passion has always, of course, this has centered around design, decor, elevating a space, making sure that when you walk into a room and walk into a space, you have that wow factor. So I'm all about style and all about decor and just making things feel just like an experience.
Just like an experience or an experience?
A true experience. So that when you walk away, you have a wonderful memory of being at that particular event or walking through a home. You feel connected to it and you vibe with it.
So you say, wow.
Wow, the wow factor.
What is a wow factor?
The wow factor is when you walk into a space, you are immediately impacted by that. You have a great experience. It puts a smile on your face. it makes you feel connected. You feel at home, or you feel excited. If it's an event, you feel excited to be a part of that event, and it's memorable.
All right, that's good. That's good. Well, let me just encourage you, my beautiful wife.
Go ahead.
Don't wait till 2025 to get this rolling. Start now, because the way you end this year is going to be the way you begin this year coming up. So it's the 26th. We have what, 5 more days left in this year. So might as well get it going right now. Don't hesitate. Start your bid. Start your launch before 2025, so you can go into 2025 on fire.
I am. You know, in your previous show, you talked about not waiting until the new year to get things going. And when I listened to that show, I thought, what can I do now? And so I've actually taken those steps. I've connected with a great graphic designer who is starting, building my website right
And who is
now.
that?
Her name is Benicia Williams, and she has an amazing graphic design company here in Charlotte. So she has already started building my website. I made sure I did everything with the state of North Carolina, with Secretary of State. So I've already updated my LLC. And so I'm taking those initial steps to making sure my business foundation is in place. So that's the start right now. And I feel like I need to get the foundation in place before I can launch. You can launch and you can put things out on social media as much as you want. But if you don't have your foundation intact, then what are you doing it for?
I love that. I love that foundation. So you know what I do every morning. Well, you don't know this because you're still asleep. But
I'm up.
you're asleep. Every morning before I get out the bed, I lay there. So when my alarm goes off at 5 in the morning and you still sleep, I lay there and I give God the thanks and the praise. And you don't know it, but I reach over, I put my hand on you, and I thank God for you. I thank God for the children. I thank God for those that are going to be impacting my children throughout the day. I thank God that there's people that my children should be impacting throughout the day. And I give God the glory, and I give him his reverence before I get out the bed to start getting myself ready to go to the gym.
Do you feel like that sets the course of your day? Do you notice a difference when you start your day out doing that versus when you just get up and go?
Well, I don't just get up and go anymore, so I can't say that is the case because I don't do that anymore. But it is a difference in the way that my morning flows after I do that, because I wake up let me rephrase this. When I put my feet on solid ground as I get off the bed, I'm in a positive mindset. So my mindset is already one that's in a level of a place of gratitude. You know, I speak about the greater vest in the book, Greater Thoughts. And so the first thing is the letter G of gratitude. And so when I get out the bed, once I put my feet on the ground, I'm already in I'm already in that posture.
Mm-hmm.
So because I'm already in that posture, as the next thing comes, I'm already flowing with the proper mentality. So I'm not holding on to, and this is one of the things that you always said that you love about me so much, is that I don't
Come
go to
on.
sleep on my anger.
That's true.
And since I don't go to sleep on my anger, and then I wake up in the morning giving God the glory for my new day, because he's allowed me to wake up, because unfortunately I have had friends in my life and close associates that went to bed at night and didn't wake up the next day. And
Yeah.
there's multiple of them in my life. And so with that, I just give God the thanks that he's allowed me to open my eyes, and all of my faculties seem to be in place. And so since I'm in that poise of gratitude, as I get dressed and get out of the house to get to the gym, I'm in a good mind state. I'm in a positive mind state where I normally have a little road. Well, let me rephrase that. As I used to have a little road rage in the morning
Please.
when somebody gets in front of me driving slow, I now give them a little grace that I didn't give before.
Well, let me ask you a question about that. What would you tell a person who wants to get up with that mindset and have gratitude, but when they look around, they see so many things that's contrary to that? They see things that's going on in their life where they feel like they can complain about it, or something isn't right. Maybe something's not right with their health, something's not right with their relationship. Maybe there's some friction between that parent child dynamic, and they want to be grateful, but everything in their mind is making it hard for them to express that gratitude. how would you encourage that person?
As easy as it is for me to speak it, it's not always as easy it is for people to say it, right, or
Right.
to see it. But there's something that we talk about the greater vest again. It's like you set me up for the
Oh
perfect
God.
home run grand slam. Uh, the the vest. So the vest is where I go with that. As I say, every morning, get up and put on your greater vest. And so that G from greater was the gratitude. Then you just move over to the V invest. And you say, how do you do that? Well, first of all, if you're still in the bed early in the morning, you're not looking at your kids more than likely. You could be, but you're not looking at your kids. You're not looking at all the things of the world that are in a sense mind boggling.
Hmm.
So the V for the vest is visualization.
My favorite one. That's my favorite part of the
so
vest.
so visualization. So if you're still laying in the bed, you don't have to open your eyes to visualize. Okay. So what I mean by that is while you're in the bed, you wake up so now you're awake, but you're still welcome to keep your eyes closed. And so if the spouse is the one that's next to you, or the girlfriend or the boyfriend, that you went to bed last night and you couldn't get the fact that they did this, that, or the third before you went to bed, and you still are upset about it, and you let the sun set on your anger, and now you need to say, okay, I need to get out of this. Keep your eyes closed and visualize your spouse the way you want your relationship to be. Visualize your children moving in the manner in which you want them to move. Visualize yourself in the house that you desire to be in. Visualize yourself in the mindset that you already are a winner, that you do have grace, you are forgiven, you are a leader, you are a what would be a good word?
An
You are a
overcomer.
motivator of yourself. Because see, the very first person you have to motivate in life is yourself before you can go motivating everybody else.
That's
You got to
true.
motivate yourself. You can talk about motivating everybody else, but in talking about motivating everybody else, there has to be a level of self motivation that got you to that point.
Can visualization go hand in hand with verbalization? And the reason I say that is when you think of visualization, like you just said, close your eyes and maybe see yourself where you want to be, see a situation better than it is. And when I say verbalization, can you also tie that to like declarations? Meaning, for instance, the word says, speak those things that be not as though they already were, not what they're going to be, but what they already were. So, essentially you're visualizing, for instance, if you have something, any friction going on in a relationship, you're visualizing, okay, I'm going to have this conversation, I'm going to go ahead and see that this is going to be favorable, that this is going to turn out maybe in a positive course, it's going to change course towards the better. So you see it, and then maybe you're speaking it. I am happy that this relationship is turning around. I am happy that we resolved that conflict. Or does that tie into something else? Are those two separate things, or can they go hand in hand?
So you're skipping around in the vest, and I love it because they all tie together to truly create a manifestation. So that I'd never put that out there, and it's funny you're bringing this up as we're on the last show of the year. But the greater vest is truly the recipe. It's the blueprint to manifestation. It's the blueprint of manifestation. And some people get into this thing now where they're talking about you don't manifest anything, God manifests it,
Right.
right? But at the end of the day, God gives you the power. The mind that's in Jesus is also in you. And so you have to never forget that the gratitude begins with the reverence to God. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to take that away. To make sure that I say that very clearly. The gratitude goes to the reverence of God. Okay. Now, when you ask the question about verbalizing, and so we go through the greater vest, and visualization. The next one is emotion, and then speech. So speech is very important. You talk about the I am. I heard you say I
Right.
am this and I am that.
Right.
So right, but there's a piece of that that has to go along with the speech. If you know, I'll get into that in a second. Let me go back to where I was about to say. So the piece that goes along with the I ams is the emotion. You can say I am great, but if my emotion is I'm dirt and I'm trash, you can say I'm great all day long, but it's not gonna work together.
Just canceling it out.
That's it. That's a great way of wording it. It's canceling it out. You have to say it with the proper emotion. Emotion is so important because there's vibration that goes along with this. And when things are vibrating in a high frequency, when you put the positive speech to go with that emotion together, that's what creates. And so when you say, does verbalization go with the visualization? It does, as multiple components to go together to create the entity that you're trying to bring forth.
Well, I would just think that if
So
someone is listening and they're going through some of these different emotions and they feel like they don't know where to start, sometimes when you say speak those things that be out, that be not as though they already were, or say maybe daily affirmations. For a person who's not used to that routine, I would just encourage someone to just try it, just start it. Even if you put yourself, for instance, with the Greater Thoughts book, you have this complete book where you walk through a 90-day process. Try it the same way when it comes to the affirmations. What does it look like? I know it might feel corny at first, but you go stand in your bathroom mirror or whatever you're facing and say, I am great. I am an overcomer. I am debt free. I am in a happy marriage. I am a great parent. I am healthy. I will walk again. I will have confidence. If you start speaking those things, just try it. Put yourself maybe on a time limit. I would think if you just say, hey, something simple, 7 days, I'm going to say this every day, regardless of how I feel. I'm going to do what you said. I'm going to try to line my emotions up with that and just maybe review it at the end of 7 days. Kind of see how your day was each day. See, have anything changed in your life? Are people responding to you different? Is your situation changing? I mean, that's what I would think. Try it.
So this is it's not a try.
Or do.
See, the issue is that so many people get into that mindset of try.
Okay.
And trying is failure.
Speak on that more.
It's to give you an excuse so when you don't complete something, you can say, I tried.
I tried. Good point. Good point.
There's nothing that you actually do in life that you say you tried. You either did it or you didn't do it. You don't say you tried it. That's the truth. You can't tell me anything you completed in this life that you say you tried. If you completed it, you completed it. If you did it, you did it. If you didn't do it, you didn't do it. But what I'm saying is this: the book. Here, let me break it down this way. The book, Greater Thoughts, is a 90-day process, and it's a 90-day process because it does take time, and that's why there's sections. They're 30-day increments. That's why there's chapters to read between each 30-day increment, because as the process starts, you grow. And so the first day you may say in the mirror, as you're talking about, I am a leader. And that's just the only thing you say that day.
Right.
And you may not see that you're a leader, but now in the book, there's an activity to go along with you doing something to show that you're a leader. So now you gain confidence in that. So now let's say you go to day 2 and you say, I am a leader. Again, well, now you have something that goes back to what it was. There was an activity that you completed that goes along with being a leader. So now you can say that with more confidence. Well, that's how the book works. It takes you on a journey.
I think you said a key word that says process.
You know, that's look.
That's your word.
Look, that's the word that I love that you can't stand most of the time. You know,
sometimes.
We married, but we're gonna be honest on this radio show.
I mean, a process. When you think of a process, people typically equate process with. Sometimes they think of it as something negative because it's like, oh, it's a method to the process. Oh, I have to go through the process. But when it comes to a process, it's all about a starting point and typically an ending point. But it doesn't mean
stop.
What?
Stop. That's the issue that people have. Baby, There's a process, but the process has points along the process.
Mm-hmm.
So many people get frustrated in the process because they're focused on the end instead of taking advantage of the points throughout the process. You know, I was just on the phone with my dad about building this car, building this motor, and building this car. And when I got the car, you said, I'm never riding in that car. I don't know why you got that old car.
I don't see the vision.
I know you like it. I don't see the vision.
I sure did say that.
And then you say, oh, wait, what you doing with that? No, first, when I pulled the interior in the house in the front room, you told me, this your new girlfriend? That's what you got? You got your new girlfriend there? You spend a lot of time with that car. But for me, I was working through the process because I knew I had a vision for where it was going to go. But there were pieces and steps along the process.
And I could not see it.
And I even had to take a trip to Chicago to go get all the parts out of the El Camino because I wanted to upgrade parts in the Malibu.
But what did I say when I saw it at the end?
No, forget what you said when you saw it at the end. Once you saw the interior, you said, ooh, I like this. But I can't see it until you put it in the car. Then once I put it in the car, you said, ooh, I like this. Maybe I'm starting to see your vision. But that's another step in the process that even you had to smile at. But when you looked at the car initially, you was like, It was right now I'm looking at you, you turn your lip up, right? So there's steps along the process. You have to take and enjoy the small milestones that come along through the process. Because sometimes the process isn't instantaneous. And that's what happens to a lot of us because in the early 80s, we got microwaves. And you don't have to put them in the old school oven, put it on 350, wait 10 minutes for it to preheat. Then it's got to cook from the inside out and it's going to take a while. You have the microwave that you could put it in and it's going to cook it from the outside in and it's going to take a minute and a half.
Yeah.
And so what we're looking for is to put it in, press the 3 minute and a half, press the start, and wait for the ding.
That's good. Can I say something about that real quick?
Please.
It made me think about the process, how I told you at first I couldn't see the vision. And I think that's how a lot of folks may be. They might have a goal and they have the end goal in mind. I want to be at this certain level. I want to own my business. They see the end goal, or I want to travel. I want to do this. But you kind of skip the steps in between and you don't see it all. But it's almost like a journey. It is a journey. You know, some folks say don't focus on the end goal, like really appreciate the journey. It also makes me think about a puzzle. You see this final picture of what this puzzle is supposed to be, but everyone has different stages and different steps of how they're going to manifest that vision. For instance, just sidebar, when I do puzzles, I love to do the border first.
A lot of people do.
If I don't do that border first and kind of get that grounding and what the boundaries are, I find it harder for me to work from the inside out. I have to work from the outside in. Someone else might take a different approach. They might group all the light colors together and then put it together that way. People have different ways of going through a process. But the final theme over everything is that you have to be able to find out what your lane is and what it is and work through whatever it is, but not give up if you can't see that final picture initially. You have the goal in mind, you know what you're working towards, but you just have to be able to go through that process and like make it happen. This, one of my favorite songs that I like to listen to for motivation is Mariah Carey's Make It Happen, because I feel like it's about you being able to speak those things that you want, knowing that you have to go through the hard times to get to that end goal. That's one of my favorite motivational songs.
So let me say this. It's not necessarily a hard time. And see, that's a mindset. A lot of people think that to go through a process, you have to go through a hard time. Yes, there could be pain that comes with growth through a process. Sometimes that pain is looked at in a negative light. But sometimes that pain should be all the time. I'm going to say that pain should be looked at in a positive light.
Like developing?
Because it's growth. And growth requires you to be uncomfortable.
That is good.
And in order to grow in different areas, you're going to have to put yourself into uncomfortable situations. The more you're uncomfortable in situations, the more comfortable you'll be in those situations. And not only that, you're going to have to learn that everybody and everything can't go with you through the process.
That's true. Some things have to burn off.
Some things have to burn off. You got to put them through the refinery. And when things get through a refinery, they get cooked. Some folks can't deal with the temperature in your kitchen.
Oh my gosh, that's so good.
And since they can't deal with the temperature in your kitchen, they start sweating. And once the sweating starts getting too much and their clothes get wet, they can't deal with the wet clothes. They need to get out the kitchen. Where you, on the other hand, you prepared yourself for that in your mindset that I'm going to be in the kitchen. It's going to get hot. I'm going to get sweaty. It's going to make me uncomfortable. But in order for me to continue through the process to make it to my end result, this is just a part of it.
That's so
good. Then when you get out the sweaty kitchen and you go take your shower and you rinse off and now you're anew again, you say, thank you for the process that I've already completed. Because through the whole process, they're miniature processes.
That's a good point, because I mean, I know that you brought up the whole analogy about getting in the kitchen. I feel like being at the end of this year, 2024, I mean, some folks, y'all just got to get in the kitchen. 2025 is you getting into the kitchen of you preparing for what it is that you want, what you want to make in your life, where you want to go in your life, and understanding that it might get hot in there, but you don't want to take things from 2024 people mindsets into 2025 that can't stand up to that heat. Everybody cannot. You always hear that a lot. Everybody can't go where you're going, and the higher you go, the less and less folks that are going to be around you. You have to be able to change your mindset.
Everybody can't breathe,
and everybody can't breathe at those altitudes.
In Denver, that's what they talk about all the time. Football teams. You go to Denver, everybody not prepared for that altitude, and so the higher up you go, the thinner the air is.
So how do you advise people that are listening, that's going into 2025, into their new year, with these new mindsets, these new affirmations, going through the new journey, reading through Greater Thoughts book and going through this 90-day process? How do you comfort them in advance for them to understand that everybody's not going to go with you and you have to be comfortable letting go?
How do I advise them?
How do you advise them? Some folks might say, oh, I've been around this person for so long and I want to take this person with me. Or
there's nothing for me to advise them on, Angie. That's for self-reflection. And that's what happens in the book. The book teaches you that. There's nothing for me to do to tell you that you need to let go. When it's time to let go, things will happen in your life and in their life that will shift them out of the way.
That's the Lord working.
That's the Lord working. The shift will happen. Now, you, as everything else in life, have to make a conscious decision. Everything in life is based on decisions.
Facts.
So what you have to do is make a conscious decision on when to let go. And when you're going through Greater Thoughts and you're visualizing, well, let's go back. You're showing your gratitude. You're visualizing. You're putting the proper emotion in. Your speech is right. And your thoughts are right. You will know, because you will have a heightened awareness of who's not in alignment with where you're going. And as that time occurs, then you start to move people out of your way. You'll find yourself not having time for the people that don't fit into the road that you're traveling, because that's the trajectory that your life is going.
Y'all hear that?
So now, as we are about to end the show, I want to say to my beautiful wife.
Yes.
Yeah, you like when I say
I
that?
do. Go
over
ahead,
the radio air.
Talk, babe.
Merry Christmas, even though it was yesterday.
Yes.
Happy New Year. I'm excited to see what 2025 brings for you. I'm excited to see your business flourish. I'm excited to see how the children enjoy the new lifestyle of their mother. And I just want you to know, keep doing what you're doing. And always remember one thing.
Yes.
All success starts with a thought. Take those thoughts, turn them into action, and go be great. God bless.
Of the night, when doubt creeps in, I hear that whispering voice pulling me from within. The weight of the world tries to break my soul, but I rise from the ashes, determined and whole.